The C63 AMG has always been a loved car. The old 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 the cars used to have was seriously one of the best sounding V8s and still may claim even that right today. Now fast forward to the next generation, the C63S is still just as loved. Now featuring a bi-turbo V8 pushing about 510 horsepower, these four-door German sedans are seriously impressive. But with so many other high-performance sedans on the market today, is the C63S really worth your money? Let's find out. Now, inside this C63S, look, just starting it here. It's still got that sound. And my goodness, you know, you sit into this car, the interior is absolutely beautiful. Look, got carbon fiber all down the middle here. You've got your infotainment system. It's really useful to use. You know, you've got your scroll wheel down here. The wheel, flat bottom, you've got little Alcantara inserts on the side. Paddle shifters. This car just feels really premium on the inside here. And the driving position, it's excellent. AMG bucket racing seats in here, which are very supportive. And to further enhance the luxury in here, Mercedes-Benz has actually fitted a IWC clock in the center console just to really give it a classic look. And this is actually straight out of the S-Class. And overall, the interior quality in the C63S is just top notch. But under the bonnet is really where you pay to play with this car. And this thing from factory is an absolute beast. Now, the figures are 510 horsepower and about 700 Newton meters of torque, which is absolutely monstrous, pushing this thing 0 to 100, claimed about 4 seconds. Now, the owners of this car, Laborde Motorsports, have purchased this to do some wizardry under the bonnet. And they've put their own custom tune into this car, and it's not been dynoed, but it's claimed to be around that 150 horsepower improved and about 200 Newton meters. So this thing should be an absolute monster. Now, starting off in the C63S. Look, this is a late model 2016 model, so we do have the 7-speed automatic in this particular one. They are not a dual clutch, but they're meant to be very, very good. So just driving this off, we're starting in comfort mode, just getting used to this car. And you know, look, driving down these kind of rougher backcountry roads, it still can feel the bumps. And look, we've got low profile tires on this thing, so you can still hear a bit of road noise. For being a very expensive AMG, you know, you would probably expect it to be a little bit more refined in comfort mode. But then again, you're gonna buy this car for that raw driving experience and the power under that bonnet. Now here on the channel, we are actually in discussions with the boys at Laborde Motorsports about possibly doing some fun giveaways. So make sure you guys hit that big red subscribe button and click the bell notifications so you get updated on all our weekly upload. And let's get back into this C63S. The driving position in this car is really fantastic. You know, the seats really hug you. The wheel just slots right into your hand here. Great view all around. Now in this particular car also, you guys may have noticed, the owners have upgraded the front bumper to the GTR facelifted style front grille. And look, it definitely does look better than the previous version. This whole car in general, it's absolutely gorgeous. You know, any angle you look at this thing, AMG have just done a really banging job on this car. And I honestly do feel like this is the best looking four-door performance sedan on the market today. And I think a lot of Australians would have agreed with me, because Australia is actually the largest market per capita for AMG. So there's quite a few of these on the road. Now price, well look, brand new, these things would have ran you close to $180,000 on road. And look, that is a huge amount of money, but this is a huge amount of car, it really is. Now on the used market here in Australia, if you're gonna get one that isn't the 9-speed auto, so like this particular one, you're gonna be looking around that $90,000 to $100,000 on the used market. And look, again, that is still a lot of money, but my goodness, when you start comparing it to what else you can get for that money, it does start to make a lot of sense. Now these are a big car. This thing is almost 1,800 kilos in weight. And you know, the 4-door model, look, you can also get these in a coupe, but being in Australia, you gotta go a 4-door. And man, it handles these corners incredibly well. It feels very balanced. And again, just everything about this car just feels solid. It feels well built, well put together. It's typical German. Now fuel economy, look, AMG claims these at about 10 liters per 100 Ks combined. And this particular one is doing roughly that. You know, if you leave it in comfort mode, drive it accordingly, it will be fairly fuel efficient, which is very impressive for this engine. You put it in silly mode, step on that right foot, and yeah, it's gonna be thirsty. If you're comparing this to some of the other performance sedans on the market, you know, you'd initially think M3, you know, the RS5. Even here in Australia, you know, you could say Holdens and HSVs, FPVs for that matter. But look, you're going to compare price-wise. Look, an M3 on the used market, it's going to run you an F80 around that $80,000, $90,000. But of course, that is a 6. Even with the RS5, that isn't a V8 anymore. So, you know, and they're looking about similar money for this. So being the V8 option and having this much power, you know, it really is ticking a lot of boxes, especially if you want something European, because obviously you can go for the local stuff and they will give you very good comparable power. But when you sit in this car versus an FPV or HSV, you can tell that these cars are completely on another level. Let's go ahead now, chuck this into Sport Plus mode. You can hear the exhaust instantly change, and my goodness, just having a quick listen to it. Woo! The pops and bangs come alive. Wow. Straight away you can see just a huge difference in the throttle response also. Just the right foot becomes so much more sensitive. And after you let off that throttle, every time it lets off some lovely bangs. And you know, being in the C63S, you know, you want that sound, you want that drama, and that is exactly what this delivers. This car really is just so suited to being an all-rounder daily because, you know, it's got 4 doors, it's comfortable to drive. You know, look, you've got a little bit of harshness in the ride, but it's totally acceptable for someone who wants this thing as a daily. And everything is customizable. You know, you've got custom drive modes, sport mode, race mode, comfort mode, can do your individual ones. The dampers can be customized, even the engine mounts can be customized to just help that handling in this car. And my goodness, even the exhaust can be customized, and it's amazing, this thing. Brakes are excellent as well. These have massive AMG, big red brake calipers up front, and they stop this car extremely well. And just going through the gears here, through these twisties, my goodness, this car, woo, it's a beast. It really is. You know, for such a large car, a heavy car too, it handles and goes like you wouldn't believe. And The car just feels really connective. You know, you sit in these sport seats, use the paddles, and the steering is very weighted. It's got a nice feel to it. The car goes exactly where you want it. You get that lovely sound out the back, the pops and bangs. It's just got a great balance, this car, it really does. Just coming into a nice hairpin here. The bangs on this car. Just tip it in. Does exactly what you want. My goodness. Wow. This one right here, what Laborde Motorsports have done, it just feels absolutely perfect. Now just quickly, a huge shout out to this week's Patreon supporters. If you guys want to join the Patreon, get early access to content, videos, merch, there is a link in the description, so check it out. Now 0 to 100, guys, look, this thing is claimed at about 4 seconds flat, and look, who knows what this thing's gonna do with the tune that's involved on this. So to do a launch in this thing, you just put it into sport mode, you hold down on the paddles, it'll say race start, hard on the brake, hard on the gas. And just like that, this car is gone. My goodness, you know, almost 1,800 kilos, and this thing is a rocket. And that noise. Far out. A lot of the times, especially in these more modern cars I get, the speed is there, the luxury is there, but the drama usually isn't. And this one, AMG have done well, and they have kept that drama really high up. And this car engages you, gives you those sounds you want, the feels you want, and my goodness, it does just everything so well. Oh, the exhaust, man. That is why you buy this car. The interior, the looks, and that exhaust. It's the whole package, this thing, and it's no wonder AMG has sold as many as they have here in Australia. Now, I'm going to finish the video off here today, so a huge thank you goes out to Laborde Motorsports for bringing out their C63S, because this car really is the ultimate package. For a daily supercar performance, fit the whole family in this thing. Honestly think this probably is the best one on the market today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something. If so, please go ahead and hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here, and we'll see you on that next video.